Oh, way to start the video. I'm not sleepy. What a long ass week. Full of stress. I fought through it though. I'm still full.
Head southeast.
Hey, yo. Oh, Lord. I ate protein and tuna tacos and my phone stopped working. It gets hot because it's glass. That's why I would not recommend buying an iPhone if you're going to be filming with an iPhone camera. It's not going to work. It'll get so hot and it'll lose all of your content. So if you're preloading something, like if you're making videos, if you're pre-recording for YouTube and you go and you make a short and you're in the middle of making that short and then the camera says that it's too hot because it's an iPhone and it's glass and you're outside filming, so the phone gets hot. If that happens, then you lose all of your previous pre-recorded material as well. So it's not like you can save it and then the phone gets hot and you can go back for it. No. Whatever you were doing at the moment that the screen went black and the temperature warning came up on the iPhone, you lose all of that content. But that's also why I have an Android, but it's out of data. So I was having to use the iPhone and it gets too hot setting up on the dash like it is right now. It's right in the sunlight and it overheats because it's glass. Hello, good afternoon.
Would you try again?
No, I won't. Oh God, my legs hurt. My hamstrings specifically. Probably from climbing that mountain. I didn't even climb the big side. I climbed the waterfalls. 2 miles. And I actually ran it. Oh, I'm tired. I gotta wake up. I got a lot of shit to do. I probably won't even fucking get in the bed till midnight tonight. Sucks. Sucks. Oh. I was gonna go to the big gym in Greensboro, but I changed my mind because of my school test. It took longer than I was expecting. This morning, it just like threw everything off. But it's okay. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I can't take y'all in with me because this is a private gym and I can't take y'all in with me. We're going to work out, but not here. Y'all, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't feel good at all. Fuck. Is my phone messing up? I don't feel good at all. Fuck. Let's go. There's no bathrooms around here because I'm in the sticks. So whenever there's a bathroom, I have to stop and use it because I don't know when I'll get the opportunity again. God. I'm exhausted. Fuck. I guess that fucking hike, man, that was no goddamn joke, I guess. I mean, I knew it wasn't a regular hike. This ain't no hike. You're literally climbing shit. It's fun. Let's go do arms. I mean, I ain't had nothing to drink, no caffeine. Maybe I need caffeine. If y'all don't come on. I'm a fucking teenager. I guess I'll just do an energy water. Well, I was gonna go to this park, but I'm not. Sketchy people out there. Sketchy, sketchy people. There's my hair bow. Tired as fuck. Caffeine. Wake my ass up. I'm still full. I don't think my food's had time to settle. I've been going since like 5:30 this morning, so I ain't really sat down. I think I just need to sit down for a minute and get my second wind. I wish I could throw all this energy into a job, but you know, that's never gonna fucking happen. I've done lost count at how many job interviews I've had. I know we were up to like 390 this time last year. So I don't know. I've probably did over 100 in the past year. I can't get a definitive answer on that, but I know how many job applications I've filled out because the website tells me. And so I take the 5,000 from Snag a Job. I take the other 7,000 from fucking Glassdoor and another 20,000 from Indeed. And you can do the number on that. That's approximately. And I also have one other web page service, like online service, and then 2 staffing agencies. Staffing agencies won't even call me back. They only want people that have degrees, because that's the way of the world now. It could be the staffing agencies that I'm dealing with, because they seem like the type that would push DEI policies. So I don't know. Where can I get coffee? Or something like it. Fucking police looked like they were about to hit me. Did y'all see us just ride by the police? He almost, like, he looked like he's about to hit me head on. And I was going to let him. I wasn't going to stop. I wish he would have hit me. He would have been wrong. He would have been in the wrong. I had the right of way. I think I need to relax for a minute. I think that really beat me up this morning. Whew, that was a lot. I was expecting to go up a different side. I'm kind of mad that I lost, but then I was looking up the trailheads, and it just so happens that there's like 25 of them. So no wonder I got lost. No wonder. Check my email for work. I do it about 8 times a day. I did it twice before I even worked out this morning. And then again at lunchtime, and now again. So that's 4 times before damn 1 p.m. You don't never hear shit. Fake job ads, fake job posts. The phone got too hot. The phone got too hot. It's an iPhone. Buy iPhone, they said. I can't even set it on my dash without it blacking out. Well, you're going to have to set right there. So crazy. So they sent me a job listing for a border patrol agent. So for those that don't know, I have extensive history in the food service industry, bartending, wait staff. However, during COVID 2020, we had 17% of our restaurants in the entire country, across the board, 17% of those restaurants went out of business. 17% of what we had in 2020, by December of 2020, 17% of those food service industry jobs were non-existent. The National Restaurant Association estimated that nearly 17% of restaurants closed permanently by December of 2020. That was over 110,000 businesses, and you can best believe since then, that number has doubled, if not tripled. Think of all the classic restaurants. Ruby Tuesdays, Chili's. Where else? TGI Fridays, Buffalo Wild Wings, Kickback Jacks, Hooters. They're all going out of business, or they've already been out of business. So where is Brooke to work? When the service industries are failing, when we have restaurants closing across the country, and they're sending me jobs for a border patrol agent. Yeah, I would love to. Sign me up. But, like, I don't think you want me, boss. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out. I would be willing to bet that 60 to 70% of food service industry jobs disappeared in the past 5 to 6 years. I'd be willing to bet across the board for all the West, I'd be willing to bet 60 to 70% of food service industry jobs are non-existent and have disappeared in the past 5 years. That's how bad it is. People don't even understand. They're not eating out, so they can't conceptualize. Here's one from here. Hold on one second. Some chef predicted that 75% of the restaurants would close due to the pandemic. How much was it? So there was a chef that predicted that this was going to happen, and in my opinion, he was right. This article is trying to say he wasn't, but they're not giving any of their own evidence to support their claims. By the spring of 21, the association had settled on a number of 90,000 closed restaurants, both temporarily and permanent. But the other post said 110, so which is it? We don't know, because that's how this shit goes. There's never a definitive answer. Hold on, let's see here. So before the pandemic, there was about 660,000 different restaurants. 660. How many restaurants? Damn. How many food service locations do we have in the United States right now? Not getting an answer. I got some loser that just pulled up. Where they at? Yeah, you better fucking go on, dude. You better fucking go on. Same shit, different day. God. My back window was down too. There we go. All the idiots are gone. Within a week after the first closure from COVID-19, industry groups representing independent restaurateurs were asking for immediate relief measures from local, state, and federal governments, saying that as many as 75% of independent restaurants could not survive closures or more than a few weeks. By July, nearly over 16,000 restaurants had permanently closed. And that would go on. By the end of December, it would be 110,000. I'm telling you guys, that's so crazy that they predicted over 75% of business would close, and I said somewhere between 70 and 80% of business is currently closed. So crazy. I seriously missed my calling somewhere. You know, how did I know that without knowing that? Because I can see it with my eyes, because I've been in the job market for 2 years, because I watch nothing but companies go out of business and other companies file for Chapter 11s and other companies lay people off. If you have a job, you better hold on to it, because next year is going to be worse than this year and last year. It could take 5 to 10 years to fix this shit. And I have a feeling that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. And I'm not a very smart woman. But hell, I was saying the same shit last year, and everything I'd say had come true a week later. So call me crazy if you want to, but I call it ESP, honey. Intuition, common sense, being able to damn tell the weather before it hits. I don't know. It's just crazy. I can take you around this town right now and everything is closed. It wasn't like that pre-COVID. I can take you to Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and everything is closed. There is nowhere to work. Not for me. I'm in the service industry, so I'm talking about restaurants, bars, grills, event centers. Everything's closed. And people don't have an incentive to open up business right now. It's not, hell, what was it? 90% of small business falls within the first year, I think it said, something like that. What percentage of business fails within the first year? It knows what I mean. 20 to 25% fail within the first year of business. This means that around 1 in 5 or 1 in 4 new businesses don't survive their first year. And if they make it through year 1, there's like another 70% chance they won't make it to year 5. It just gets worse. You know what I mean? .5% of private sector business fell in the U.S. the first year. After 5 years, it's 48.40%. What did I say? I was a little bit off, but I know what I know. After 5 years, 48.4% have faltered, and after 10 years, 65% have closed. So you got a 65% chance of your business. I'm sorry you don't have passion and care nothing about anything but your dick. I'm sorry. Let's see here. So you got opening small business within the first 10 years. There's a 65% chance of failure. So there's not really an incentive to open a business. You know what I mean? So people ain't doing it. The risk is too large. The taxes are going to eat you alive. The loopholes and the red caution tape you have to go through to even open a business is ridiculous. They want $400,000 for a liquor license in Jacksonville, Florida. That's almost $500,000. And then your business fails and you don't even see that money back. And that's not including the rent for the building, all of the setup, all of the liquor, all of the amenities that you have to have for patrons, like a jukebox, a pool table, and literally that is the worst thing that you could, if I'm being for real, the worst thing that you could do in business right now is try to open a bar. There is no nightlife. People don't have money to go out. It's going to fail within the first year. That's definite. Let's see here. Minnesota sees the highest business failure rate in the first year. 27.7% of businesses in the state fell within the first year. The District of Columbia is number 2 with 27.2, and Missouri to follow with 27.1. That's 1 out of 4, homie. I mean, that's still if you got the luck of the draw, that's still a 75% success story. But 65% chance of failure within 10 years. So you got like a 10% chance of fucking making it. God, it's so sad. And the longer you have the business, the worse off the percentage of failing goes. Hey, Joe Mama. So you start a business. Let's say you start a welding business. First year, it seems great. Your first year, you only got a 21.5% chance of failure. The second year, 34% chance. The third year, 40% chance of failure. Fourth year, 42%. And it goes on. So by the time you get to the 8th year of business, you're at 60% chance of failure. Year 9, 62.6% chance of failure. And after 10 year or right at year 10, it's 65.1% of failure in small business. Thank you, Joe Mama. It's ridiculous. It's like, God. So nobody wants to open up a business. Nobody definitely wants to open up a restaurant, and the majority of restaurants have went out of business. It's crazy, especially fast food. What percentage of fast food restaurants went out of business after COVID? I want a new number. No, I don't want nothing from 2020. Yeah, 11% of service industry jobs we lost during the first year of COVID. I want a total number. Food trucks were the hardest hit segment, with over 22.5% closing down the first year after COVID. So we lost 1 in 4 food vendors that were a truck during COVID the first year. How do you think that trickled down into 2021, 22, 23, 24, and now 25? When's the last time you seen a food truck vendor in your city? I don't never see them, and I live in Jacksonville, so they should be everywhere. And I still don't even see them in a major city with 1.3 million people. But back in 2019, they were littered all down the damn roads. I can think of 2 that I know of. A barbecue truck that sets off of A1A right next to the laundromat. And then there's a Cuban food truck that comes into Hannah Park. That's it. They used to be everywhere. I'm looking for a recent number. Here we go. Restaurant failure real statistic from who? Menu Tiger. Hold on one second. Only 17% of restaurants fail in their first year, according to a study completed by 2 U.S. Berkeley economists back in 2014. Okay, this is not good. This is not good. That's a way old number. But this is pertaining to now. Give me a second. I think I ate way too much. So in 2021, they said that, here's an article I'm going to show you. In 2021, it says, more than 10% of restaurants in the United States have closed permanently since the coronavirus pandemic last March. Now, that was in March 29th of 2021. And at that point, 10% of fast food chains and restaurants had went out of business. What do you think that is now? Because I can't find a number now. How convenient. They don't want us to know how bad it is. I would be willing to bet that it's 70 to 80% as I originally predicted, and as economists predicted when the pandemic first started. I'm trying to get a combined total. This is that 10-11% is for 2020, from March to December of 2020. I want a round total. I want from March 2020 to March of 2025. I want to know what percentage of business, restaurant, service industries has went out of business. And you can't even get a number. I don't know. Examples of chains that have faced financial difficulties or closed locations in 2025 include Denny's, Hooters, Jack in the Box, TGI Fridays, Red Lobster, IHOP, Boston Market. And that's, that's on top of the other thousands that I've reported on over the past 2 years. That's one of the things we do on this channel is go over layoffs and Chapter 11s. 13s, I always get them mixed up. 44%, look at this, listen to this. 44% of restaurant owners in Washington, D.C. fear that they might have to close in 2025. How does this compare to other cities in the U.S.? Let's read. People are starting to panic. I told them, nobody wants to listen. I knew it. I've been in the job market for 2 years. I knew it. Every time I go to a fucking job interview, they're like, sorry, we're actually closing. The amount of times that I've done an interview and they get on the phone with me and tell me that they're now laying off people and firing people and closing their doors permanently, indefinitely is crazy. Dozens. I've had dozens of those phone interviews. Why would they even get me on the phone? Great question. To waste my fucking time. Oh, wow. This is what, listen to this because I find it interesting. This girl named Jade, who's in the service industry, is talking about how higher end restaurants are now closing their doors at 10 p.m. And she's used to working with food and alcohol, and it's leaving her stuck because she got laid off. Now she's stuck working at nasty restaurants like McDonald's and Burger King. So she was trained to work in high-end restaurants that have a different level of customer service and accommodation. And now she's stuck working at McDonald's. And she can't find a job because all the fancy restaurants have gone out of business. It'll only get worse. It already is. Let's see who's laying off right now. Layoffs, June 25. 22 hours ago. Corporate layoffs have ramped up in recent weeks. Here are some companies making the cuts. June 5th. Companies are under increasing pressure to trim costs against the backdrop of global economic uncertainty brought on by President Donald Trump. I love how they want to blame everything on him. This has nothing to do with him. Nothing. Oh, well, then it was Chapter 13. That meant whatever it was where they go out of business. And sometimes they have to sell off their assets, and it's still part of a Chapter 13. Same difference. They're still fucked. Most of those people, vice versa, they're still going to be filing for chapter bankruptcy eventually. Most of them. They can try to save it, but if they're that far in, it is what it is. They're done. So they're blaming Trump. It's Chapter 13. It's Chapter 13. Who's laying off? Procter & Gamble, They cut over about 15% of the workforce, which is 7,000 jobs. So if you get laid off, then you go to unemployment and you're going to be competing with almost 8 million people for a job right now. People who have masters, bachelors, and associates and have been unable to find work for almost 4 years. So those 7,000 people that just got laid off are going into a market and it's going to be impossible to find a job because we're not adding jobs. More businesses are going out of business, and we already have almost 8 million people looking for work. And I would say about half of those have been waiting years for employment, like myself. Microsoft, they're going to lay off 6,000 staffers. Citibank's going to lay off 20,000. Walmart, who has already laid off like 30,000 employees, they're laying off an additional 1,500. Who else? CrowdStrike, 500 employees. Walt Disney Company, but it doesn't say how many people. Chegg is going to lay off 22% of its workforce. What is Chegg? It's some kind of AI generated computer or something. Amazon is going to be laying off. Amazon has laid off roughly 27,000 employees. And I have so many people that come to my channel and tell me to go work for Amazon or UPS. They hire felons. They just laid off 30,000 people. But we knew this last year because I started reporting on that when they first laid off the first 15,000. I reported on that. And then they laid off another 10,000. I reported on that. And then here we are for the third time. They're laying off more people. People come here and tell me to try harder, but they haven't even been here and opened up their ears long enough to know that I've been trying harder than they will ever even attempt to. Don't come here preaching to the fucking choir. Let's do June 2025 and see what pops up. States expecting the biggest layoffs. Oh, wow. They're doing it by state now. This dropped yesterday, June 4th. Roughly 138 employers plan to lay off thousands of workers in June. I'm laughing because I fucking told you. That's 138 different companies. I wonder how many employees they can lay off between 138 different companies. Let's see. I told y'all it was coming. Nobody fucking listens. I guess when we really fall into like fucking full collapse, they'll be like, oh, that crazy bitch, she predicted all of this. Everything I say comes true. I predicted this last year. Oh, so it looks like California, there's over 30,000 people that are or right at 30,000 people as of June 3rd that is going to be laid off. Texas is going to lose 10,000 positions. Georgia, 10,000 positions. Maryland, 10,000 positions. Illinois, 10,000 positions. Those 10,000 positions is a single person. New Jersey, 7,000. Alabama, over 100 people. California, we just said that. Colorado, over 300. Connecticut, over 20. Florida, over 4,000. Idaho, over 250. Do I need to go on? So I've been looking for work for 2 years now. Last year, I went above and beyond. I would spend my whole day doing nothing but job interviews, running myself ragged, not taking care of myself, not eating, not prioritizing water. And I wasted tens of thousands of dollars in less than 18 months looking for a job. I don't have it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore because I'm not going to get hired. All of these people that have now got laid off just got added to the fucking job market. They don't have felonies on their record. They also have education, most of them. They are going to get a job at Dunkin' Donuts before I do. How many people they laying off in Jesus. Even Washington State, 1,700. Ohio, 2,000. New York, 10,000. New Jersey, 1,000. Maryland, 4,000. I mean, and it's only going to get worse, as I told you guys last year. So if you have a job, once again, for the 100th time, you better hold on to it. Because shit's about to get really fucking rocky. You think it's been bad? Hold on. Hold on. With both hands to that damn job, honey. One day ago, U.S. Department plans layoffs. More layoffs. So for those that don't know, Donald Trump, when he took office, he laid off about 250,000 workers. Those 250,000 workers, I'm now fighting against for a job because they went back into the job market. Okay. So my competition, you know, degree holders who work for the federal government. Great. That's probably why when you go get fast food now, the workers are so mad because they used to work in government. Now they work for McDonald's and they're bitter about it. So it looks like they're planning to do more U.S. government layoffs. Lovely. 53 minutes ago, U.S. layoffs spiked nearly 50%. This is it. This is the full circle moment. I told y'all this was coming. Sometimes I just don't know how I know these things and I still can't find a fucking job. Imagine knowing everything that I do and making all of these predictions and shit coming to fruition and still and yet you can't find a job. Like, I should be reading like business patterns for a fucking company or something to fruition projected sales or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, but like, I could do it. It's not rocket science. I've been out here in the job market for 2 years. I knew that this was coming, and it's been coming. It's been a slow progression, and that's why I report on these things every few months. We talk about the same thing. So layoffs have spiked 50%. And then we got the other half going out of business, filing for Chapter 13. It's crazy. Well, good thing I done got comfortable not working. List of companies laying off in June 1st of 25. Thousands of employees across various industries are expected to be laid off in June. They do this like every 3 months. Nearly 160 different companies will be laying off employees through the month of June, exceeding the approximately 130 companies it did so in May. We are fucking cooked. Oh, God. My heart's beating so fast. I can't. Oh, God. I'm going to have a heart attack. Oh, God. I'm hot. So have we been doing this on the regular for the past like 6 months and I didn't realize it? It's so funny because it's like, how the fuck did I miss my calling? Imagine if I would have had loving parents and come from a stable home, what I could have done with my life. The layoffs will affect multiple industries, including retail, pharmaceutical, food, beverage, airlines, package delivery, and more. Layoffs in the workforce vary by company, some laying off between 1 and 25, and other companies like U.S. Cellular have larger cuts. Here's some of them. Newark Group, Air Wisconsin Airlines. Why is the airline company cutting staff? Are they closing the airport down? What is going on? American Institute of Research, Lido's Holdings, Cali Nail Market, Wells Fargo, Chevron, Saddle Creek, Whirlpool, Interstate Management Company. I mean, listen, I would spend all day reading all this shit. These are all the companies that are laying off in June. Just in June, because in May, apparently there was a whole different list with 130 other businesses. And we've been doing that, and I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know it had gotten this bad. Like, when I said it was going to get bad, this is a little worse than what I was expecting, if I'm being honest. We are fucking cooked, bro. So cooked. Oh, it keeps going. It keeps going. I'm done. Jesus, bring me home. Oh my God, I'm so done. This is crazy. Coca-Cola, Brinks. Well, I really need an editor so we can go back and stitch shit from last year's numbers and then all of my predictions to what's going on for the past 6 months. I had no clue. I hadn't looked into it since the last time we looked into it, which was probably October of last year. Let's see how many new jobs we... How many new jobs did we add to the economy in May of 25? 139,000. Oh, God. We are fucking done for, fam. Oh, God. This is crazy. I think by December, unemployment's going to be at a fucking peak, bruh. Like a peak like we ain't seen since maybe, what was the 08 recessions? What was the highest that the unemployment got during the 08 recession? 10%. I think it'll be higher than that. What is it currently? What's the national average unemployment rate right now? 4.2, 4.9?
Information from Bureau of Labor Statistics.
4.3. It's going to vary by state, but what's the highest? And what's the average? 4.2. So I was right. I think that's going to double. I think it'll get up to 6 to 8, maybe even 10. At this fucking rate, we're cooked. Have been. People just don't see it. They don't get it. They got a job. They're not in the market. They don't get what I've been through, what I've seen, what I've had to deal with. At this fucking rate, with all, 160 companies just this month are laying off. Last month, it was 138 companies that laid off and or completely closed their doors. Last year, it wasn't as bad. Last year, we saw businesses closing, and we would talk about the layoffs every month that they would happen, but it wasn't at this rate. This is exactly what I was talking about when I said everybody's going to go out of business next year. The job market's going to get worse. I said that. There's videos of it. I wish I had an editor so we could go stitch it. I said, I even told you guys last year when I was crying, looking for work. I told you guys that if you had a job, you better hold on to it, because next year in 2025, it's going to be impossible to find a job, because it already was in 2024. So, but also in 2024, like I said, I had so many of these instances where I would apply for a job and then the company would be going out of business. I had so much of that going on, and then also going from door to walk and ask if they're hiring. Everybody is out of business. It's common sense. It's common sense. I don't know what else to call it. I'm out here living it, so I can tell you better than anybody what the job market is like. And also, I study this stuff extensively. We've looked at these numbers for 2 years. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And every time I make a prediction, I'm right. Every time. I don't need to feel like I'm right. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that I'm that intuitive. Like, that's why I'm saying I was right, because it blows my mind that I can predict shit like this. And I didn't even go to school to predict shit like this. My parents didn't know shit about the job market. My parents didn't know shit about the economy. My parents did not teach me anything about life. These things are important. Very important. I have no drive, but I'm sitting here working. Okay. Y'all, I had way too much protein. I feel like bloated. There you go. Bloated. Can y'all believe that shit? It's only gonna get worse. And see, here's a different number. You remember a while ago it said 110,000 quit, 10,000, first of all, I already had a feeling that was a fake account. In March of 2020, when COVID happened, by December, we had lost 110,000 businesses. But Yelp said that we lost 165,000 businesses. How do we go from 110 to 165? That's a huge stretch. And the numbers are still not clear. Right here. Yelp said 165,000 in 2020. Businesses shut down. The numbers don't make sense. I'd be willing to bet that 250,000 businesses shut down from March of 2020 to March of 2021. I'd be willing to bet 250,000. I don't trust these numbers. They lie about every fucking thing. I bet the data Republican could figure it out for me. I bet she could. She's a badass. God, what a badass. Look, here's an article. Here's a fucking article from 2022. Listen to this. The UBS expects 50,000 store closures in the next 5 years after pandemic pause. And this is for For banks? Is that for bank? Is that a bank? A pandemic shakeup in 2020 led to a surge in store closures, coupled with dozens of retailers filing for bankruptcies, which emptied out shopping malls and left vacancies scattered. That's another thing. Go to your local mall. Where did all those people that lost their job during COVID? Shopping centers, retail stores, restaurants. Where did they go to work? They still haven't found work. They're still looking for fucking work 3 years later, like me. There are no jobs. Like, we're out here, people that worked in retail and service industry are out here competing with people that have degrees. They're going to take the person that has a degree and no criminal background over a person that has a criminal background and no degree. It's been a huge issue for years. Anybody that doesn't know this, you're living under a rock. So this is some business insider prediction analyst, I don't know, company. And they predicted in 22 that over 50,000 retail stores would close. And I'd be willing to bet that that number is triple since 2022. Do I need to go out here and get a census? Like, for real, how do we not have numbers? How do we not know how many businesses went out of business in the past 5 years? They know. They just don't want to tell us because they don't want us to know how bad it is. It pisses me off. That's the whole reason we have the World Wide Web, right? Was to find information, connect us with answers. Oh, God, the mess that we've fucking gotten into. Now we can't find nothing out. The media lies to us, and so does Google. Ain't that a shame? Yeah, that's crazy. I bet you. I bet you. Those numbers are tripled. Has to be. Because where's all the jobs? Where is all the jobs? I need a coffee. I'm not feeling good today. I wonder what got into me. I wonder if it was that workout earlier. It could be that food. I'm tired, you guys. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. Seriously. I do. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. God, it's hot. Got a nicotine patch on that I want off. That is so crazy. I had no clue. I figured that these companies, it was maybe like a handful of companies every month that was laying off. I did not know that it was like almost 200 freaking employers laying off people in that mass quantity. Like, when I said it was going to be bad, I didn't know it was going to be that bad. Even if those employers only lay off 100 employees each, that would still have an impact on the economy, even if it's just locally. And a lot of those companies were laying off tens of thousands of people. So, hold on to your job. Buckle in. I'm giving free rides in the struggle bus to anybody going through the struggle. Keep all arms and legs inside of the vehicle. Free ride for the struggle, honey. Me and Betty will be your struggle bus. It's just crazy. I did not know that it was like, last month there was 138 companies. I wonder how many people that was combined. Probably close to 100,000 people, depending on how many they laid off. If it's anything like this month, which is close to over 100,000 people being laid off, then, and if we've been doing that every single month, we're just adding millions of people back into a job market with no jobs. I have to laugh because I've already cried. You can go back last year and see me use all of my blood, sweat, and tears looking for work, honey. I went insane. I wasn't even showering. I wasn't even eating. I couldn't sleep from the stress. I'm not going back there. I knew this was coming. I predicted this. So buckle the fuck in and hold on to your job. It's crazy. I can take you around this town right now, and there ain't a damn thing that's open in this town in probably 6 years. Nothing. Not a small business, not a coffee shop, not a damn restaurant, not a bank. Everything in this town is closed. And everywhere I go, it's starting to look like that there too. All I can do is focus on me, fill out more applications, answer my email, try to set up interviews, and try. That's what I do every day. I've never stopped. I might say I'm going to stop, but I don't because of my anxiety. I feel obligated because I want to work. I'm going to go shower. I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm going to wake up because one of my girlfriends had texted me and she had said, hey, I saw you were in town. And she invited me to do something. So we're going to do something. I'm excited. I haven't seen her in forever. I miss hanging out with girls. But a lot of them are catty and jealous because they're not focused on themselves. They're more focused on what I'm doing. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm going to need you to focus on you and not me. But I just think that we live in a time now where social media has created a generation of fakes. That's the most simplest way that I can put it. People don't know how to be genuine. People don't know how to be authentic because they're so self-motivated and their egos are so fragile that they don't even know how to be good people anymore. They let their insecurities rule them, and they display bad behavior traits. Dude, can you get in your lane? They become petty, vindictive, manipulative, conniving, all of these things I'm not. And just sucks to be here. And women are emotional creatures. Men, they're more logical, they're more rational, they don't operate on emotion. Well, them new ones do. Them new ones do. God, but like men, them new ones are still in their 20s. But men of my age, they're more logical, rational, and don't operate off of emotion, which is what I grow up around. So when girls come into my stratosphere, whatever, and they start displaying those petty, jealous behaviors, I distance myself. I can't be around it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't even want to be dealing with your problems, girl. Like, I thought we were supposed to be having a good time. But sometimes it's like that with men too. But usually if they have a romantic interest in me, I'm trying to have a good time, get to know somebody, and they're trying to speed things up. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's your problem. That's why you're single. You tell me how horrible your ex was, and then you try to do the same shit that you did with your ex instead of learning from your mistakes and slowing the fuck down. But I'm the problem. But for real, men operate less on emotion than women. So they're a lot more tolerable to me. I'm just not a people person. The older I get, the more I realize I'm just not a people person. I'm an old people person, like mama and grandpa people person, auntie and uncle people person, but I ain't no regular mingling I don't know what to call it, social butterfly. And you get to a certain age too where time is money, and I don't know, it's just like a waste to hang out with a bunch of people, you know? Like internally, like I'm wasting my energy hanging out with people who don't have a clue. I just don't want to be in that situation. I'll find like-minded people one day, like in person. It's not a girl's girl. You know, most women sit around talking about other women. I ain't never did shit like that. It's not even in my nature. I don't give